Welcome to the Phase 2 Marvel film reviews. Now, last time I did all the Phase 1 reviews except for Incredible Hulk. Let's not go there. But anyway, let's get started with Phase 2. Iron Man 3 is directed by Shane Black and stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Ben Kingsley, Guy Pearce, and Rebecca Hall. Just a warning for you guys, I will be giving spoilers about this film. I just can't do it. I can't do this review without giving spoilers. So just sit back, relax, watch this video, have fun, but I will let you guys know when I will give the spoiler out, so don't worry. So Tony Stark is dealing with a post-traumatic stress disorder from the events of the Avengers back in New York while investigating a terrorist attack led by the mysterious individual called the Mandarin. Honestly, this film does not seem to be like a sequel to Iron Man 1 and 2. It's a completely different film towards anything, really. It's its own film, it has its own style, and that's the thing that I really appreciate about it. But it's a direct follow-up to the Avengers. It's not really a sequel to Iron Man 2, it's pretty much a sequel to the Avengers. Is this film good? Yes, it is very, very good. Iron Man 1, I loved. Iron Man 2, was not a huge fan, but I still liked. The Avengers, I loved. Iron Man 3 is a great film. It's a very, very good film, and I had so much fun with this film. What I love about this film is that it explores some more of the character development of Tony Stark, which I did not even think was possible. He seems to be so vulnerable in this film. You almost forget that he is a person. He is a human behind the mask, and that's the thing that I love about superhero films, is that you actually forget that that person is a superhero because he is struggling. He's like anybody else, you know. He's just human. One of the main storylines is that he suffers from anxiety from the events of the Avengers, and I feel like that is such a real storyline in this film that they did so right. I just was so happy with that because I was actually concerned every single time that the person or Tony Stark would suffer from that, and how it would just be such a dramatic scene. His portrayal as Tony Stark and Iron Man in this film is perhaps the best out of Iron Man 1 to the Avengers and this film. I feel like he does it even bigger, which I did not even think was possible, because the guy just owns this character. The guy, there's nobody else, I can't imagine anybody else doing it like him. He's that good. I feel like there will be a lot of comic book fans that are going to be very disappointed with some of the ways that this film turns to, the directions that this film takes. It's very unique, it's very different towards the comic books, and I feel like people are going to be very disappointed, but I'll get to that in a sec. They affect most of the characters, most of the story, and you got to respect that, because I still found this film to be very, very good and very enjoyable. So it kind of worked. I don't know. You really feel that a new director is in hands. Shane Black does a great job as directing this. He lets us know that he is in control. He does a great job with films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which also has Downey Jr., and of course the recent and just the incredible film The Nice Guys. Wow, that's a great film. Gwyneth Paltrow does actually a great job in this film. She is very much involved in most of the action scenes. Her relationship with Stark is being tested a lot. You really do care about their relationship, and it really does step up from the last film, Iron Man 2. So that is very nice to see. You care more about the characters, and that's what matters. So I was very pleased about that. Okay, let's talk about the villains, or the villain in this film. So as you know, before I continue this, I am going to warn you guys of spoilers. There will be a massive thing over here, a warning over here that says spoilers somewhere on the screen. You'll know when it is. So if you don't want to find out, or you have not seen this film, mute it, and I'll let you guys know when I am done, so you've been warned. So as you know, the villain in this film is the Mandarin. The Mandarin is obviously portrayed by the actor Ben Kingsley, but there is a huge plot twist in this film. The plot twist is that we find out that Ben Kingsley, playing the Mandarin, that the character is actually an actor. His name is Trevor, I think. His name's Trevor. I think it's called Trevor. And he has been hired to play the on-screen role as the Mandarin, because the real Mandarin is actually the Guy Pearce's character. Guy Pearce's character is actually the one who has set up all these terrorist attacks. He is the man behind it all. Ben Kingsley's character is just an actor. He is just the guy who we all see on screen, but he does not actually, he's got nothing to do with those events. So that was the big plot twist, and that really did just divide some fans. Some comic book fans just hated it. They bashed this film. In my opinion, I honestly was confused. It was a very bizarre choice, but you definitely understand why they made the choice. If you link back towards the start of the film, the build-up, the whole character development, you understand why they made this choice. It seemed a bit vague, in my opinion, but at the same time, the screenplay sometimes allows it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't because of the screenplay. But I do respect the risk that they definitely took in this film. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Both Guy Pearce and Ben Kingsley do a great job in this film. I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I wasn't annoyed either. I just found it very interesting that they took such a different direction in this film. There is a kid in this film who sort of plays, he is a bullied kid, and he plays this little sidekick for Tony Stark. He sort of helps him out in most of his fights. He's a very sweet sort of person. He's a very sweet kid, and he is in most of the scenes with Tony Stark's character when Tony Stark is hiding in the shadows. Both of their chemistry in this film is fantastic. I literally love this kid. He did such a good job. I just really enjoy the constant banter between the two. It was just a great thing. This film is very funny. It's probably one of the funniest out of all the Avengers or the Iron Man or whatever. It was a very, very, very entertaining film. Definitely. What I love about this film is that it has the Dark Knight Rises theme to it. That style of it is where Tony Stark, you pretty much do not see Iron Man in this film. Iron Man in this film, the suit is hardly in it, except for the third act. Most of it is Tony Stark struggling to find his way, to try and find this guy, this Mandarin guy, and take him down once and for all, because otherwise his life will be in jeopardy. And his life is in jeopardy at that moment. But what I really love about this film is that most of this film is just to do with Tony Stark. He is hardly Iron Man in this film. Most people weren't happy with that. The thing I love is character development, and they did that so right in this film, especially with Stark. He's trying to find all these tools. He's struggling to find all these tools, and he uses his brain once and for all to actually make all these new types of gadgets and tools to fight back. But he does that as Tony Stark, as a struggling man. So that's really cool. It's a bit like Dark Knight Rises, where he's in the shadows, trying to fight back, trying to find new ways to overcome the situation, and it did that really well. As for flaws, I really just thought that these supporting characters had no development, really. They were very underdeveloped. Some of the guards who are helping the Mandarin, working for him, they just seemed there. They had no purpose whatsoever. They just seemed there, a bit like punching bags, just throw them away, and it just did not seem to be very, very interesting. Guy Pearce does a great job once again. Don Cheadle does improve in this film. He's actually a very good addition to this film. He is much cooler as himself than Iron Man 2, but he does improve quite a bit. It's just really nice to see him on screen. And lastly, I love the score for this film. The soundtrack is fantastic. Brian Tyler did a great job. I was very happy with that. Guys, overall, Iron Man 3 was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed this film. Does it have problems? Yes, it does. But I do think that it's better than Iron Man 2. Perhaps not Iron Man 1. But I'm going to give Iron Man 3 a 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely check this out. Next is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That is a damn good one. Look forward for some more reviews on the way leading up to Infinity War. I'll see you guys very soon. Subscribe and have a nice day.